Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another video, and today I will be checking out the new single from Of Mice and Men called Warpaint. It comes with the announcement this week of their new album Tether, which will be out on October 6th through Sharptone Records. Big shout out to Sharptone for getting this over to me in time to make a video, as always. This is a band that I have been listening to for a very long time. It's been, I think, well over 10 years now. I saw them on Warped Tour a bunch of times. A band that I have history with for sure. I haven't listened to as much of their new stuff, admittedly, or the band in general as I used to, but they always remain one of those bands that I keep interest in and revisit their first two albums quite often in the grand scheme of things still. So all that being said, I'll link the video that I'll be using in the reaction portion of this, pre-orders for the album, all of the band's social media in the description of this video. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it. Hit him with that check scream. All right. Oh. Ooh. That atmosphere. It's cool to see all the members, for the most part, still with the band. Not a ton of turnover from Of Mice and Men. Other than the obvious, which that's... Whew. Oh. Ooh, I'm vibing with these riffs.
I refuse to snuff my light. I refuse to run and hide. I won't let it drag me up until the night.
Ooh, you got that extra long build. Vocals sound really cool. Oh. Of Mice and Men, Warpaint. Let's discuss. this is a solid track. It will go onto the playlist for me. I don't think it'll be like a 5 times a day song or anything like that, but it'll be one that I do revisit, and it also kind of makes me realize that I should revisit their newer material. Earth and Sky I liked, and it really was not a matter of not enjoying their new material. The only release I really didn't, it was more like Restoring Force was an adjustment for me. Cold World I really didn't click with, and then from there I kind of fell off with the band, and then getting back into them was only challenging because of how, I guess, busy I am when it comes to music, how much I'm trying to listen to, how much stuff is constantly coming out. I still have the new Jamie's Elsewhere that I need to review, which I've had for a little bit, and now it's just been quite some time, and I'd be curious if Aaron is doing the production for Of Mice and Men, Jamie's Elsewhere. I likely should have looked at that before I started this, but here we are. Maybe I'll take a pause in a moment and do that. But with this track, it's a solid track. It's got some great riffs in it. It definitely has some of Mice and Men sounding riffs. Like, there is a certain sound with this newer material, I feel like, when it comes to the guitars, that they're very connected in the song. But the first verse, as you're getting the riff that leads into that first verse, phenomenal. I don't think that lets up at all throughout the track. And like I was mentioning, it's cool to see that the members are still the members that were touring with this band a long time ago. Obviously, they had a very big member change, but other than that, for a band that's been in the scene so long, you have people who have been in this band for a long time, original members, and it's just neat to see. I think that translates in their music as well, because they know what they want to do and they've been working together for a long time, and I think that really helps. Obviously, some situations where people start working together newly and it's a new band, it just works off the bat, but I think that it definitely plays to the advantage of Mice and Men, if that makes sense. It has a catchy chorus, but not in like that big soaring way that I talk about on the channel. It's got like a more, like a little bit of a lower vibe, but a lot of what they do with those vocals that you're hearing kind of panning, more of like a background vocal, I think that drives the catchiness of the song and makes it stand out a little bit more in places where maybe it's just instrumental otherwise, but you hear and you're like, oh yeah, I like the identity. I talk about this in so many videos, whether I'm talking about a song having identity or not having it. I think that's one of those moments where it provides something that has a decent amount of identity. It was interesting because it felt like a smaller type of breakdown, not small in the way that it hit, but in the length, and then there was like that build up and then it drops again, and I wasn't really expecting that with the structure there. I like that before leading back into the chorus. So it's a 3.5 minute track, has the chorus that I'm looking for with Aaron's voice, but also his scream sounds wonderful. A lot of the the space in this, the atmosphere I was talking about, that really comes through. It's a solid performance through and through. There were moments where I was vibing with everything that's in this. Drums, guitar, there was some very bassy moments, which I always love to see. Talk about that far too much on the channel as well. So I think that this is a solid track, one that makes me want to go back and see. I feel like if I were to re-listen to their newer releases, from Earth and Sky forward, this probably wouldn't be my favorite of those songs, but since I haven't done very intensive listening or didn't give multiple listens really to them, I don't think that I know what would be. So now I'm curious to find out. I'm pretty often putting the self-titled album or The Flood back onto my playlist. It happens multiple times per year, every year, always has since those albums came out. So I think this era of Mice and Men is different, but something I really enjoy. I think I'm kind of just rambling at this point. I don't know that there's necessarily anything I would have wanted to see differently, because it's got great riffs to it. Maybe a little bit of variation there, because like I was saying with, I think not that the riff I'm talking about that leads into the first verse, but throughout the song I wasn't really fully paying attention to what parts. There's just some stuff that it sounds a little bit too similar to some of their other material that I've heard. Not too similar in a way where I won't listen to it though, but what I'd like to see from them, I guess, is just a little bit more variation from the sound that I feel like, but I should revisit the other stuff still to make sure that, or maybe not even to make sure that, kind of to draw the similarities and kind of focus in on what I'm looking for from them. That way, as we go into the album, which I will continue to cover, and I am looking forward to this album. I think getting back into this band after so long of enjoying them and listening to their music is an exciting task. Not task, that's the wrong word. I am very exhausted. Forgive me for my lack of brain organization. I will not get into it, but there is a lot going on. I'm going to include the video, all of the band's social media and all of that in the description of this video. The time this is going up, I'm probably going to take a couple days after this without posting a video. I will be back early next week. I just have some personal stuff I need to take care of. Most of you know what's going on if you're on my live streams or my Discord server. So thank you very much for watching. All of my social links will be in the description. My Patreon, my Twitch channel, which I am working on getting started. I have personal stuff going on right now related to my dog that just is making it to where I can't really announce it like I'm wanting to. Blah blah blah, it doesn't really matter, it's personal. But all of the social links you may need will be in that link tree in the description, and when I do get on Twitch, you will see me go live if you give that a follow. Everything I'm offering currently is in the Patreon, and I haven't updated it quite yet. Blah blah, you guys get the point. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I appreciate it.